And we're live. How's
Yay.
everybody doing today? Hope you're all well.
Hello.
Much better
Doing
now.
good.
Yeah,
Vibin'.
had some
Good
technical
vibe.
difficulties, but that's okay. We're just gonna vibe with the time we got. Real quick, does anybody have anything interesting going on they want to shout out before we get going?
Shout
Okay,
out
well-
to the full 8 hours of sleep I'm gonna get tonight.
Hell yeah,
Wow,
brother.
yeah.
That's a lie. I
Uh,
never go to bed on time at D&D days. I lied. I'm sorry, guys. I wanted to sound interesting.
I can't believe you
Oh
would
my
lie to
god, I
me.
feel so lied.
Um,
I'm
So-
going to a convention next week.
ooh.
Nice.
Shout out to the
I-
convention.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I am trying to put together a big Cobblemon collab that I'm gonna
That
have
reminds me,
to.
I need to message you about that. Actually, I might be interested.
Okay, I'm gonna have to shenanigan some stuff because I'm having multiple people now realize that they can't make the time. So I might have to shenanigan things and move it back, but it's coming. That's gonna be cool.
I think it might be a good idea to like have like a month of everyone doing stuff, but like after like 2 weeks in, you lock in a box of Pokemon for it. But that's just an idea.
I don't know. There's a lot of
Can you
ideas
put-
floating around. I'll have to find them.
I
Like
don't
figure it
know
out which one.
Kabumon? I thought you said Kabumon, and I'm like, Digimon?
There is a Digimon mod
It's
as well.
actually
There is a
Digimon.
Digimon. There
Did
is a
you guys
Digimon
see
mod.
Did you see the state of game? The state of games. There's a new Digimon game coming out
Oh,
that
yeah.
comes off
Oh,
like
yeah.
the Cyber one.
Yep,
I'm
yep.
so
Oh
hyped.
yeah.
I told my
Oh,
husband,
yeah.
I was like, time to sell my blood to the blood gods to buy a video game.
Time Strangers, right?
Trust me,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that has been
I'm hyped.
like
Beyond belief.
like the forefront of like our community's minds. We we love Digimon. We stand Digimon all day. Like cannot wait for Time Stranger.
You know they brought back the
I-
Digimon card game.
Oh yeah,
so
it's
you
good.
can actually get them.
Yeah,
you
I
can get 'em
used-
at Walmart and stuff.
I
Yeah,
played
I
it for
got-
a while
So-
and then. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Sorry, Black Cat. What was that?
I've been enjoying Next Order, but since we're a little bit limited on time, I figure maybe we should get going. And if we want to sit around and talk about Digimon afterwards, I'm definitely down because
Yay.
it's something I've always wanted to get a little more into. But yeah,
Shooting this at you, Digimon
I have.
campaign.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I've already
digress.
played
Yo.
those.
I'm in that Digimon campaign.
Yeah.
Gimme, gimme.
Recap, guys. Kind of. Not really.
Yay.
I have like an informational recap, and I'll go down that really quick. I won't spend much time given all the details. So previously, we were in Goldcrest, and we ended up meeting Glug's patron, and the god was there, a little bit sulky, I guess, because we were all bad mouthing the patron, and they slunk off, and Gil and Glug chased after them. And Gil and Glug got to talk with this patron, which we found out was a god. They called the angel their child and wanted Glug to intercept the angel to getting to the god tower, which was apparently his goal. Because previously the angel was the god of war, and Glug's patron took that power from them because they weren't worthy. There was kind of a spat, not really a spat. Gil confronted the patron for poaching Glug, and bargained to get Glug a mask that gives him more warlock
Mhm.
power.
Made her cry. Yeah.
She did cry. That is true. And Gil, after chewing her out, gave the agreement that they would help. And in exchange, the god gave their name, which is Ralkoth. But most people know her of our kind, know her as gender neutral, as the Wilted Flower. When Gil and Glug got back to the group, really important thing, Fervor and Sanguine's Fables really, really hated the patron and kind of cried the end of the world when they were getting near. So, legend lore. Thician used Legend Lord on Glug's new mask. What happened is that we saw multiple figures kind of in a circle with a divine aura saying that humans were blaming them for resources running out. And then the scene changed, and a much younger individual, not quite the patron, with blue skin and reddish hair, was side by side with a silver-haired man, looking over the world. And then in the next scene, the silver-haired man was on the ground with an arrow in his chest that kind of looked like Magitech, a mix of technology and magic. And the woman over this dead person was sobbing, crying, and they leaned in for the kiss. And after that, next we saw is that they were now combined, we determined, kind of merged. Blue skin, red robes, androgynous, hand raised to the sky, and they created a meteor. And in the final scene, we saw them going around planting large seeds in now a lush area. Sanguine talked with Gil on this. Gil didn't want to give Sanguine the whole information because Sanguine was pretty bothered that this god called himself balancing for sustainability. So, a god of balance. Sanguine went to Titus, told him what he knew, and Titus mentioned that Glug's patron and statues of them were in assorted dungeons. And a long time ago, Horus sent an expedition to the Tower of Frost that now belongs to Balkavar. And that expedition brought Balkavar to life, and that tower also had a seed in it. And that seed, when planted, grew into a half-orc. Totally naked, no idea who they were, and I believe their name was Kaori. And Titus told them that they were a part of the Band of the Hawk. But that might be outdated information. Last thing before we're caught up to where we are now. King Leo and the head of the Band of the Hawk intercepted us on their way to Miram. Leo had a whole bunch of horses. And Leo was a little bit panicked, said, hey, get on the horses, go to Miram, until Gil convinced him to sit down for some pancakes. That's more important. And he told us if Brother Matthias and Cyanrath were coming by, they have a big problem. He doesn't like Cyanrath due to their history, and Brother Matthias apparently is going to be the one to kill him, or so fortune that the collector gave him many years ago said. So ever since, Leo's been cautious being around Matthias at all. And that's essentially where we left off, is with Leo, with the horses going back to Miram, I believe. Did I miss anything?
Nope, that all sounds about right.
Cool, that's the recap. Very informal. It was a lot of information.
Have an inspiration anyway.
I feel
All right,
pretty
so.
inspired. I don't think Sanguine does this time, though.
All right, so we'd ended last session with you all arriving in the city of Goldcrest with King Leo and with Tariq arriving on the borrowed horses that they gave you all. As you arrive, the city is pretty active. Seeing Goldcrest for the last few days, with most of its people having abandoned, you realize that the vast majority of them seem to go here instead of towards Frostford, as that was closer to the original warpath, like closer to where they were headed. So, vast majority of the refugees came here. Also, the people from Goldcrest seem to have gotten a relatively warm reception. It's not like they're all just being kept out on the street or anything like that. You see somewhat familiar faces to those of you who had been in Goldcrest for long periods of time, working like the various shops around the city. They seem to have, at least for the time being, been given jobs. To speed things up just a teeny tiny bit, Athisian, you are given the money that you are owed from the Band of the Hawk, plus the little bit extra that Gil had talked him into giving you for making you wait for your paycheck. A total of 2,500 gold.
Okay. All right. I just put that in party funds already.
And Leo, as you all are arriving, he'll kind of look over and address you all as you're kind of getting your bearings. You're welcome to spend as much time in the city as you need. I'm sure you've been on the road for a while. If you have need of any supplies, the markets are open to you. I'm going to head back to my manor and begin trying to come up with some kind of a plan in case they're still headed this way. Just make sure that you come and see me before you leave town, please.
All right.
I'm sorry, my headset's acting up. Was that the Band of the Hawk or was that Leo?
Leo.
That was Leo.
Leo.
The guy from the Band of the Hawk, Tariq, just paid Athisian, and unless you guys have more that you want to ask of him or more information you want to get from him or anything like that, then he is just going off screen. Just heading back to the Hawk's Nest.
Yep, for now, sure. The nest? Do you really call it the nest?
That is not the correct name. It's the Hawk's Roost. I had the name wrong before.
Well, both of those are pretty good.
At least it's better naming conventions than Green Arrow has for his base.
Oh man.
What is this base called? Isn't it like the Quiver?
It was called the
something?
Arrow. It was called like the Arrow Cave. However, later, whenever Harley was like, "That's a stupid name. You should call it the Quiver," and it's like,
Oh,
you know
that's
what?
where I heard
Actually,
that.
that's a good name. Why didn't I
Yeah.
think of that?
He still calls it the Arrow Cave out of spite, though.
True, but he doesn't. It's a better name.
But yeah, so the city is open to you all. There are a few shops around if you guys need to get any kind of like any supplies. There are a handful of wagons in the southeastern side of the city that you had previously been to some time ago, where you had visited briefly with the collector. There's also the manor, if you wish to go and converse with Leo some more. It is all open to you.
Oh yeah, didn't Leo last time, wasn't he like, you guys have a fable, the collector probably wants to hear that information, wasn't that?
I guess we have gotten 2 of them since we last saw the collector.
Yeah, he would definitely be interested in what you guys have. If not to buy it from you, although he probably will attempt to make an offer. At least to like hear like what it is and what it does.
Okay.
I think we got a lot of other pretty big magical items we sell off too, honestly.
Does the party have a plan? Otherwise, I'm as sanguine asking.
Well, it's probably best we try to at least equip ourselves a little bit better with the upcoming fight, at least.
Buying supplies?
Yeah, probably load off on whatever we've collected in the past and just fill up from there.
Are you guys going to go see the collector?
Might be a good idea for more of our unique items, I would say.
Out of character, do we still have the arrow that Angel shot at us with?
It was lodged in Sanguine's neck, so I think that's up to him.
Well, there's one
Sanguine has
lodged-
his arrow, and then Athisian probably has his.
Yeah, I
Oh,
still have
right,
in
the
my
one that-
like on my shoulder pad, basically.
Yeah, the one that hit Mir's stand on your shoulder. Yes, you do have the
It's a
2
good-
arrows.
It's a really good thing you were equipped with a fairy saddle.
Right?
Very subtle.
Uh.
If you're going to meet him, I won't be coming with you guys. So have fun on your own.
All right.
If you are going, though, I don't exist. Could you do that for me?
Okay.
I know he wants to hear more about our items, and he kind of reaches in the back and pats Blackbird.
You hear a
But I
little
don't want him to know
cooing in your
anything
head.
about me.
Why would we tell him about someone who's not employed with us? I think you're safe.
Thank you,
Wink.
Gil.
Glug nods.
Finally, not being on contract is useful for something.
Right.
Can I have you sign an NDA on that?
Are NDAs an actual thing in this party right now?
You could
Invented
try to
NDAs?
invent it. You could try to invent it. We'll
I
see how
feel
it
like
holds up in
Gil-
fantasy court.
Hasn't had to
He
use
is?
them for a while because he hasn't really invented anything that he wants to market.
Market NDAs.
But I mean, this really wouldn't be like an NDA in regards to like telling people about you. That'd be more like a restraining.
A restraining order.
I don't know how that would work. It's just
An NDA
Oh,
We're not allowed
actually,
to discuss
Sanguine,
this.
that sounds like work for a restraining order.
It's like, you know what? I don't know what kind of contract this is, but I can make something.
Sure, I'm down. You like contracts, right? That's kind of your thing.
Yeah, Gil like kind of lights up a little bit and is like, "I'm gonna get my paper and ink." And it's like, "Oh, he realizes he's not
Oh,
my
no.
part."
Oh, we went robot
You're
again.
Go find paper
roboting
and
again.
Is it storming where you are right now, Ursa? It's
Am I roboting again?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
better now, but you were.
Yeah.
It's Discord. Hold on.
I'm gonna
I
leave
love
and
hearing
come
your
back
son.
too.
Okay. And then there were 4.
Welcome back.
Dun-dun-dun,
In the
I am
time
back.
you were gone, the party got one shot. Time to start all over.
I love hearing
had
your
to
son in the
turn away.
background. It's storming.
You should hear
It's
him
very
whenever I'm
adorable.
watching. I watch Ryan Hall. Okay, a little bit of a push for this guy. He is a meteorologist. He does everything on YouTube, and he'll get your stuff to you before your news channel does. So I watch him because we get a lot of tornadoes up here. But as soon as he hears the word tornado, he starts going off, "There's a tornado!" And he makes tornado siren sounds and spins in circles.
Is that
That's
better?
adorable.
That is better.
Yeah.
Now he's gonna do it.
Hell
again.
yeah.
Ursa,
About
the
it. So
party
I'm
got
gonna mute
white.
up.
Yeah. Yeah.
We gotta start over now.
Okay, you got your pens, you got your papers. What's business like, Gil?
We're essentially making a contract that restricts any of us from speaking of you or your identity in the presence of the collector. Also included in any is any and all items that you may have on your person or in your ownership.
And what about events?
It also includes events where you will not be mentioned outright. If you make yourself known, that is on you. We have no control over if you want to make your presence available to anyone that you speak with, but we will not talk about you.
Okay, sounds good enough. I
Cool.
just want
And
to
what do we
sign
get out of
something after
this?
all this time.
And what do we get out of this?
I gotta sign something. You've wanted that for a long time, right? Sanguine's
I've wanted-
enthusiastically reaching for a quill.
I believe I wanted you as an employee.
Oh, what? You want to hire me still?
Well,
Yes.
think of all the benefits.
All right, sell them on me. do I get?
I think I can let my employees speak for me. Go on, gang. Tell them how great it is working for Gil.
No, I want to hear from you.
Oh.
I think it would be funnier. Come on! Convince me!
Glug was disappointed because he was about to like gush about Gil.
I know. that's like Glug's favorite thing.
Yeah, Sanguine's gonna be like, it's like you can't. You're paying your employees to sell your business for you.
Actually, I think that's Glug's second favorite thing. Glug's first favorite thing is Gil. His second favorite thing is talking about Gil.
And then that's when Sanguine is like, aren't I your favorite thing? Or at least your second? More so than the Gil talking about. You like to talk about me more? Sanguine's not saying that right now. But no, it's always said. Sanguine's, you can kind of see as he's bouncing around, he's not being very serious right now. He's kind of just wants to hear what you have to say.
That's a whole nother contract that I have to bring out and show you all the different benefits. It includes health insurance and dental and eye and let's see here. There's free lodging with wherever we go. There's you can help yourself to the mini elixirs that he creates. Whether you want to or not is up to you, but they are there. They let's see here. It does put in clauses for like if you become a warlock, things like that. So things can go smoothly with situations like that. So I don't know what else I can do to sell you other than it's just cool being part of Gil Merriman's Marvelous Mercenaries.
You get a cool
I don't know what
tag
else to
next
tell
to your
ya.
name.
Yes,
You should join us, Sanguine. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Trust us.
Sanguine's very enthusiastically nodding through all of this. And when you finish, probably with kind of like a proud, like, chin high, you done talking business. Sang goes, wow, I actually never let you finish that before. That was really interesting. I never really knew what you guys did all this time.
So would you like to sign up?
Oh, no. I just want to hear your sales pitch.
Well, all right. I suppose I did waste my own time there, didn't I?
Oh, no,
Got me.
it wasn't
I
a
did.
waste. We're getting to know each other. Friends, right?
We've been traveling for how long?
But I never heard your speech.
'Cause
It's
you
new
never-
experiences, right?
In turn for the contract that lets us not talk to you about anyone else, things like that at your wish. Whenever we need support, you can come in and help us if you are available and are able to do so.
That's kind of a... That's kind of a big floaty exchange.
Your secrecy is very valuable to you, and so is your efforts to help keep us safe. So it's a win-win for both of us, really. It really wouldn't be anything less than what you're doing now.
No, exactly, which is why putting it in paper kind of bothers me. There's no end date on it. Not to say I would abandon you guys. No, not at all. You're my friend. It's just having it on paper like that makes it sound like you're gonna pull it out on me and then say that you signed. And therefore you signed, so you have to do this, and I hate that!
Do you really think that's what we would do? Do you see me as a dishonest person?
No, not at all.
Hmm.
I'm just saying you would turn in such a cool moment! I wanted it to be a power of friendship thing, not a matter of paperwork. I did sign up for this. I did say I was going to sign the paperwork, so maybe I should just go with it so I could see you take out those papers. Oh, this is difficult.
was just about to say, you're the one that wanted us to put this in writing.
Yeah.
What's the flip here? I don't understand.
Sanguine's become a very
this is
complicated person.
Sanguine's realizing he shenanigans himself here.
Gil really likes paperwork, okay? He likes things clean and honest and on the record.
You know, most people who like paperwork don't like it, to be honest.
That's not the kind. Maybe that was Gil at one point, but he certainly
That's only
has had
deal
a
with his
change of heart.
gambling debt,
It
isn't
has
it?
been a while since he got any cabbage water.
This is true. Well, he
He-
also has been away from his cart for several days. So,
Yeah.
Sanguine takes the pen from Gil, is leaning over the contract. Okay, so how should I sign this?
with your name,
My name, legal name, full name?
whatever name you go by, I assume Sanguine.
Sanguine it is. Sanguine signs the paper, does a little heart after his name. I'm Ursa, do you wanna quantify the statement of the agreement again? Because
Upon your request, we will not speak to anyone about you, mention your name or any of your belongings, things like that. And in exchange, if we need assistance, then you will offer if you are able to. If you willingly make your presence known or give that information that does not go against our contract, because you are doing that voluntarily. But otherwise, you are a stranger who just happens to follow us around a bit. So,
okay. Yeah, Sanguine. I guess Sanguine probably starts to sign, and then halfway through, he probably lifts his pen off the paper and point to that, and he has a look on his face, kind of squinting at the page, and then that section of the paper he probably crosses with a big X and writes "friends," and then finishes his signature with a smile.
that's not really how contracts work, but okay. Sure, yeah. Gil's just kind of goes okay, this isn't my first rodeo, but I appreciate your gumption. He'll sign the other side, and he'll whip out a notary stamp and just slam it on there.
Oh wait, what is that? A notary? A notary
Makes
stamp?
things official. You have to make things official, of course.
Wait, you're notarizing yourself? Is that legal?
Who's to say? Anyway, starts to roll.
I'm not a
roll up the pavement. Hey, are you a fucking cop?
Not at all.
What's
Fuck the police.
Gil? What's a cop?
As far as I know, I think they're pig monsters. If you ever find any, just destroy them.
Oh, okay. Are
Excellent.
they not friendly?
Usually not. No, fight the power.
Oh. Okay.
That's why they don't like notaries. They don't like telling the truth.
Oh, so they're a bunch of liars. Okay.
Roll
I don't like
Exactly.
liars.
papers and sticking the scroll in his bag. Now, let's go find a collector, and you enjoy your time.
Of course. Oh, Fervor.
Yes.
Sanguine walks over to Fervor and smiles and gives her a hug. And when he's doing that, he's in Fervor's ear, probably saying, I wouldn't say, I wouldn't talk about how your fable reacted to Glug's patron. The less information to our current events, the better. And then he smiles and goes, let's go dress shopping later. In ring shopping, too.
Yeah.
I'll get you new clothing.
that makes sense, and I would love to.
And he goes on her shoulders and kind of hops off.
That was so aggressive.
All right, job done. So Sigmund is waving off to everyone. Okay, have fun, you guys. I'm gonna do some shopping myself.
Okay. So, who wants to go first for shopping? Fantastic.
I think most of us are gonna go for the
was-
collectors. So
Can Glug, I guess, go to like a magic shop and see? Wait, how much? Let me just double check if Glug has money actually. Okay, Glug does not have a lot of money. Never mind.
yeah, that's why I was saying we got probably best players selling stuff to the collector, so we have some money to maybe get a few things.
That's in that case, Glug will stick by Gil.
All
I
right.
guess we'll go find the collector.
Very well.
Yeah.
Heading to the southeastern side of the city, where a long wagon train has been brought inside of the walls and just kind of parked between the wall and the city proper. You see a rather large crowd formed outside. And the being that you all know as the Collector, who I have... There it is. There's his image. The tall, well-dressed figure whose face is a pair of theater masks. Kind of just has his arms folded behind himself, currently wearing the mask of comedy, as he addresses a crowd of people that you can hear them making demands of him. And as he addresses the crowd back, "My goods are not for the common folk. The things I hold are far too powerful for the likes of any peasant. I understand you're afraid of the coming war, but that is none of my concern. Now please, leave me be before I have to go and get my friend the king to escort you away." This does very little to dissuade the crowd, who seem to think that because of the fact that the Collector has wealth and has artifacts that could be useful in the war, they seem to believe that he is obligated to help. And he just kind of stands there with his hands held behind his back. The rest of the crowd kind of wandering just a little bit away and kind of grumbling to themselves and looking in his direction. He is looking directly at them. Do any of you approach?
Yeah.
He turns and looks in your direction as you begin to approach, Athisian, and kind of looks you up and down. "Ah, I recognize you, a friend of Leo."
Goddamn internet went out again as you were explaining that.
Oh,
It's the worst timing.
basically the civilians of Miram seem to believe that because the Collector has powerful artifacts that he is obligated to assist them in the war. And he is refusing, stating that what he has is too powerful for the hands of any random peasant. And then he also
Good thing we're
threatened
here.
to have the king force them to leave if they will not leave.
I think Gil would approach, and it's like, well, then it's a good thing that I'm good friends with the king as well, and I know he wouldn't treat the people like that. But I understand. You're right. That's your items are not for just the average Joe. Good thing we're here then. Good to see you again, Collector.
Hello there. Yes, it's good to see someone who also understands that there are some things far too dangerous in the hands of regular people. If you have anything that you would like to discuss, I would gladly bring you into my wagon. However,
Excellent.
and he's going to look back to the rest of the crowd, I ask again that you all disperse. And they are
Gil's
just going to
turn
stay
around.
there.
Never fear, folks. Gil Merriman and his marvelous miracle mercenaries are here to help as much as we can, as you might have heard of our exploits down in Goldcrest, no doubt. So let us handle it and carry on with your lives.
There's some more murmuring in one voice from the back of the crowd. Just, don't you sell tonic water?
I would if I had my cart here, sir, and I'd gladly sell you a bottle, but we're here on other business.
The murmuring as you have acknowledged that it's been a while since you've been in Miram, and the last time that you were in Miram, you were not nearly as powerful or successful as you are now.
Yeah, but some of the people from Goldcrest are here as well, though, right? Did I misunderstand what you were saying before?
There are people from Goldcrest here. These are like a majority of people who like live in Miram.
Oh, okay, I understand.
They seem
May
a
I
little
make
bit.
a persuasion to get them out of the way of the collector, because since they seem to be annoying him.
You may.
Yay!
Could I add a help action to that?
Yeah. How would you
Why
like to
didn't it-
assist in this?
Oh, it doesn't have my. Oh, it's not linked with. Oh, okay. I was wondering why it didn't roll it in.
Just,
Roll 20. I don't have the extension on this. I switched to
It's all good.
Firefox, so
It's all good.
Real quick.
If you want to just do like /r space 1d20 plus your modifier, as long as you have the
I
character
rolled
sheet.
it and I got a 25.
Okay.
A 17 plus 8. Then
Okay.
I can show you the screenshot here if you want.
I guess you don't need my help anymore then. Never mind.
Nah, I'm good. My
Okay, never mind.
persuasion, one of my best stats.
All right.
Eh,
How are you persuading these people?
telling them that we got it handled. That's kind of like what I was saying before.
There's a few kind of worried murmurs in the crowd before you start to hear, aren't they the ones that just defended Goldcrest? Maybe they're more than they look like. And people are going to kind of look at you with a mix of like curiosity, bemusement, and a little bit of worry, but that's more directed at the collector in general. And they will begin to slowly disperse. A few of them kind of spitting in the general direction of the collector.
Well, that's just rude.
And he will open the door to his wagon, which is, once again, an extra-dimensional space. It is significantly larger on the inside than on the outside. As he opens the door to you all, you can very clearly see that the inside of this specific wagon appears to be lined with bookshelves, and there are a few items on display. However, this appears to be more like a kind of a lobby area. And he just kind of gestures for you all to enter. Anybody who would like to go inside is welcome to.
Indeed.
I'll definitely walk in.
I'll walk in as well.
Absolutely.
The inside of the wagon has a constant flow of incense from a couple of burners in one of the corners, giving the entire place a scent of kind of a mix of vanilla and like tea. Like a nice black tea scent. And as you enter, he is going to go and take a seat behind a nearby desk. What brings you all to my shop today? It's been
Emperor's
some
one
time
of the
since
most-
I've seen you all.
Yes, it has. We're here for one of your for some of your most valuable products. Information.
He leans in. That is one of my more valuable products, and one that not many people tend to come looking for. I'm sure that you've all had quite a few adventures in the time since we have last seen each other. Perhaps we can come to some kind of a trade. What
Perhaps.
information are you looking for?
Who had the axe?
That's just in general, like
Was
It's
that not
in the
thing
bag
that
of
we were-
holding.
it's in the
Yeah,
back corner. It's
wasn't-
just in party loot. No one's using the
Yeah.
axes.
Were we not wanting to look for more information about that? Is that not what we came here for?
Well, between you and me, we can figure out what's it about. We already know what's it. It's more like no one's going to use it, so it might be better to trade it for something of equal value that we. will
Oh,
use.
okay. There was something that we were going to ask him about, though. I can't remember what it was exactly.
Maybe information
Um,
about the angel or something, right?
I believe that you guys had wanted to learn more information about the angel. You wanted to learn more about the tower.
Wasn't my patron part of that as well, or?
I believe your patron as well.
I think those are the three main questions.
I can't find. The patron gave their name, right?
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, it was Relcath or the Wilted Flower.
Yeah, Glug and I are the only ones that know that name.
I'm gonna tug on Gil for a bit and just like, Gil,
Mm-hmm.
can we ask about you know who I'm talking about, who we met?
Yeah, I'm gonna write the name down on a scrap of paper. It's like, if you could have any information on this, and kind of show it to them.
He holds a hand out and takes it and doesn't look at the paper. Just kind of looks at Glug for a moment.
I'm pretty
felt-
sure I have my mask on, so.
I felt a familiar presence. I do have information. What are you willing to offer in exchange?
Glug is gonna see if let me see.
What
Do
would you
you get-
consider a fair trade for this? Sorry. Maybe we don't offer anything to them.
I am sure you are aware that under the request of King Leo, I had been keeping an eye on you whenever I had the opportunity. Correct? If not, then, if you did not already know that, then it is of little consequence.
Sorry, I
There.
don't quite understand.
He was asking, are you aware that he had been keeping an eye on you under the orders of King Leo?
I mean, we hadn't until just recently, but we know now.
While you were visiting a temple in the Shifting Bog, I had spied something. An amulet that you were passing around your group.
Oh.
I recognized the sigil, and if you were willing to part ways with it, then I'd be happy to give you some information.
We have multiples of those?
I don't remember that.
The party had
I
two.
remember that.
Yeah, we had two.
We have more than two. We have the
That's
one
right.
that we took off of Zishk. We have the one we took off of Grix. We have the one that we took off of sorry, that was off of Raji's body. Is
Mhm.
there any others? We had at least three.
Point
Same
is,
one
we
has
have
one,
some.
though.
We have some to spare, so I think that'd be fine, personally, unless anybody has any objections.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
All right then. I don't have one of them, so
I'm just assuming it's in party later. We'll just hand one over.
He is going to
Does-
take
Does
the
it matter
amulet.
which amulet we give, or does it matter?
They're all essentially identical.
yeah.
Okay.
So if you're willing to pass that over, if the party is in agreement, then he
Yeah.
will take it
Pass
into
it
his
on.
hands, kind of looking it over. I don't remember if I ever described the sigil to you. It is an eye inside of a pyramid, and there appears to be like a dagger or a blade stabbed through.
Someone killed Bill Cipher.
It's the Illuminati.
Someone killed Bill Cipher. Oh my god, they put him on a necklace. This is interesting. Well, are you comfortable with everyone in your current company hearing about this? It matters not to me.
Amongst this crew, absolutely. I trust them with my life.
Very well.
Sanguine's not here, so that's believable. He's not an employee. I can't say that.
He is just going to kind of walk over towards Glug and just looking him over as the mask switches from tragedy to comedy.
I wave.
She has found herself quite an interesting champion.
I'm a champion.
Yeah, illegally.
We are alike in that. And he is going to just kind of look down to Glug. I was at one point one of her champions.
Really? Well, what happened to you when you were a champion?
I betrayed my people and allowed her to
What?
rule.
I wouldn't betray my friends. I wouldn't hurt them.
If I was to go back, I'm not entirely sure I would either. However, such is our lot in life.
Well, I
The-
Back to
wouldn't
the
betray.
hourglass.
I won't.
The
I will-
creature that you are asking me about is a god. However, they are more than that. The divine of this world, well, My power rivals the divine of this world. They are mere demigods in the grand scheme of things. They are mortal. They can be killed. They might have incredible power, but it is a fraction of what they would be truly capable of if they were pure divinity. The wilted flower is pure divinity. They were not always this way. Relkath is an old name that they occasionally still use. It was the name of a former goddess of nature, along with her beloved whose name has been lost to time, the god of time. Upon his death, the two became one. And seeing what was going to become of the earth that they had created, they wiped life out to begin again. I assisted her in this. The angel that you are looking for assisted her in this. We are far from the first, we are far from the only. I would recommend that you maintain as much of a distance with this being as you can. They mean well, but they bring disaster everywhere that they go.
Wait. I'm so hold on. So I'm gonna look at Gil and see if like Gil has anything to say, because Glug is just like wondering like what hold on. So can you just repeat that again real quick, just like the cliff notes, just so I can help process my mind real quick?
The Collector used to be one of their champions.
Right. I remember that. Yeah, that part. Yeah.
The Collector and the angel that is hunting you both betrayed their people to Relkath in exchange for power. The god themselves does not mean to do evil things, but destruction follows wherever they go. And also, also, one of the previous things that you guys had theorized was correct. This god is essentially two gods in one body. The domain of nature and the domain of time. Not the domain of balance, as they had said.
Nature and time, you said, okay.
Nature and time. Mother Nature and Father Time.
So
Turning
they're a
into one
liar
being.
and a manipulator.
Quick question for my notes, Black Cat. You said that the true divinity, they were once truly divine, and then they merged and are now mortal, or is vice versa?
They are, yes, they are, as the Collector had put it, one of the only true divines that still exists. The gods of Aspera are mere demigods in comparison.
Cool.
In that, I'm gonna look at Gil. I'm gonna ask Gil, if I continue to be this champion, would that make me a bad person? And if I were to betray them, would but I don't want power, Gil. Why? What do you think?
I think Gil's gonna just like kneel down and like put a hand on Glug's shoulder. It's like, Glug, I've known you for quite some time. I consider you one of my best employees and a good friend.
You were one of my elite employees.
You were one of my elite employees. Um, do you think you'll betray us?
Never
Do you
betray
think you-
you.
And I trust you for that. So whatever this person, I don't care what she is, tries to, if they try to convince you to harm us or betray us in any way, I don't think you're going to fall down that rabbit hole. So if you can siphon as much power from them, do it and fight against it if you want.
Okay.
I trust you.
Thank you, Mr. Collector, sir, for the information. And Glug is gonna bow.
And thank you. The transaction is now complete. Is there anything else
Excellent.
that you are interested in or would like to learn about?
Actually, yes. You see, we have some stuff we need to unload, and perhaps we can work out a trade on some of your material items.
Materials. Do you mean things such as material components for spells, or are you looking for...
Or like equipment and things of that nature.
Are you looking to
Irma,
protect
show 'em the
yourself
axe.
or deal some damage?
A little bit of both. I'm looking for some new armor or a new shield or weapon.
He is going to take... You're talking about the Forgotten King's Axe or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I think
Betrayed
literally
King's
all-
Axe.
Yeah, there's the axe, there's the shark tooth.
Yeah, both.
I also
those.
have this +1 sling that I've never used. I wouldn't mind giving that up.
I would be willing to give you some coin for that, but I am going to be completely honest with you. I have very little need of something as mundane as that.
I assure you,
It-
it's well maintained and only used once by an old woman on Sunday.
That may be the case, however, I feel as if it would be better suited at a more traditional magic shop, or perhaps sold to those people outside who were looking for help.
Can't blame a guy for trying.
That might be a good idea to do.
As
Yeah.
for the axe and the shark tooth, I would be willing to provide you with... And he is going to take a very meticulous look at the two items, getting in close, looking at it with like what appears to be a small magnifying glass, and just inspecting it. The quality is... The quality is good. The maintenance on it is less than stellar. For the axe, I would be willing to provide you all with 10,000 gold. For the shark tooth, it is far less impressive, but still could make for a good decoration or conversation piece. That I would give you 1,500 for. Or if you wish, I can allow you to have a look through my wares. I
Counterpoint.
have a few things... Oh, go ahead.
Counterpoint. You say that the maintenance is less than fair. I would counter that it's reliable. It hasn't broken yet, and it seems to have seen a lot of battle. So there's some quality to that, I believe.
Make a
Also,
persuasion
nobody
check.
around here is a smith in our group, so that can't exactly maintain most of our weapons like that. We'd have to go to a professional.
Maintaining a magical item is also not quite that simple, as I am sure that an artificer of your renown would know.
I'm a chemist.
looks at the bag of holding.
So true.
What of it?
I suppose there were likely chemicals involved in that creation of that, yes.
I'm an alchemist. That is my subclass.
Yeah,
They called you
Yeah,
an artificer.
yes, he called you an artificer because you have made
know.
magical items.
Yeah, but I'm known for my elixirs.
Uh-huh.
Not every
Yeah.
doctor can perform surgery.
He brews a mean cabbage water.
So I've heard. Voice in my head.
Delicious.
Oh,
I
here
love how we
comes
just
the
have 2
robot.
alchemists in the group.
The robot has claimed you once more.
But make me a persuasion check when you can.
Yes.
I can
I wanna say
hear
he
the
said
occasional.
dice or flash
I
of
can-
genius, I think he said. I don't
I can hear the occasional syllable.
type what you're saying, I guess.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind just typing it out real quick.
Like 3 items. I'm kind of looking at them like I would love these.
Also, while we have a moment, real quick, Walter, didn't you unattune from the Thorn Witch's stiletto?
You
I
guys,
think I
you
did,
sold
yeah.
that in Grotza, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I think I don't think I have it anymore. No.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just making sure to see if we have anything else.
I believe you had sold it to
I have.
a
do
little
still have
goblin merchant.
I do still have the Gemini mask. I don't know if you want to keep that.
I think that's utility. I think that's good to keep.
All right.
Yeah. Yep, that's better.
Okay, yeah, I have to like completely close out Discord and like reopen it, so it takes a little while.
It's all good.
Okay.
So, an 11 is unfortunately not enough. Were you trying to add something to that?
You know what? Let's add one of my diviner's dice. How about we make that a 17 instead?
I think you can also still add your flash of genius as well. Because that's on
Yeah.
skill checks, right?
Flash of genius. Yeah, you just got +4, so that's 21.
As you make your argument, he kind of continues looking over the weapon. Yes, I suppose that some wear and tear does add a bit of history to a weapon.
Mm-hmm. Makes a good story,
And-
too.
It's not like it's something I'm going to be using personally. It would be probably going to one of my hirelings. I would say 12,500 gold. That
If
would
you
be my
want,
final
like-
offer on the weapon.
May I also offer a service of giving a more in-depth history of this weapon? Since it is of more of a curse nature, I'm capable of doing that.
I appreciate the offer. However, I also am capable of identifying and appraising magical items. I have seen and known things that, well, let's just say that
I like to think
you wouldn't really believe them.
that this thing just completely ignores that and just starts to go into the whole spiel of the story. It's like, long ago, a foolish samurai with the...
But yes, I would be willing to offer 12,500 gold for this item. That would be my final offer on the matter.
Sounds like a good deal, I think.
He did also suggest from his own wares as a trade-in too, right?
That is true. You did.
If you would like to see some items from my personal collection, I can bring some out that I believe would be interesting at the very least.
Doesn't hurt to look at options.
Very well. And going to head back into a separate room and coming out with what appears to be 6 small boxes that are kind of like stacked on top of each other. And he will set them on a nearby desk, grab one, expand it, almost as if stretching like a portable hole. And from the inside of it, will reach in and pull out a slim, black-bladed dagger and set it down on the table. As it touches the table, it makes no sound whatsoever. This dagger, I came across it in a dark place. It absorbs sound around it, and if you hold on to it, or more importantly, if you are stabbed with it, it whispers in your head of horrible fates to come. For the sake of over the table, it is a +1 dagger. It deals an extra 1d6 psychic damage on a hit. While attuned to it, you have advantage on stealth checks in dim light or darkness. And while attuned, you can cast Silence once per long rest.
That is an extreme rogue weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Only we had a rogue.
I will be putting these items in chat one by one as I go through.
E.
Can I change from Warlock to Rogue? I'm kidding.
The next box, he will pull out a set of gloves. These gloves appear to be forged from dragon hide, and they glow faintly at the fingertips. These were made from a dragon, and still have a small fraction of its ability.
Was it one of the ones we killed?
I do not believe so. It's been in my collection for some time now.
We killed a couple if you want to refill that.
Perhaps. We'll talk of that in a moment. These gloves are capable of casting the spell Scorching Ray once every hour or so. And whenever you cast a spell that uses fire damage, protections against flame seem to have very little effect. I'm going to be deleting these later if you guys decide not to grab them, just so that way the loot channel isn't clogged full of stuff that you guys don't have use for.
Yep.
Don't you have a collector wear channel?
Oh yeah, he literally has a collector.
Sure do.
Yeah.
That's literally just that.
That's below.
What it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally right below that one.
You're not seeing under the curtain.
Ignore the man behind the curtain.
That's me. I remind the god when he doesn't do things right.
That's so correct. He's going to pull out a gilded compass. It is a brass compass, encrusted with pearls, and has a bunch of nautical glyphs on it. Nautical runes.
Gilded what to the compass? That was a dumb joke. I'm sorry.
Took a second.
This compass does not simply point to the north. It points towards extraplanar gates, if you wish to branch off of the path that fate has set for you. And if you are looking for something or someone in specific, simply holding the compass and thinking of them can point you in the right direction. And there
Be
is,
extremely useful.
there's that.
So it does okay.
Not gonna lie, I really like that compass.
Yeah. The next item that he pulls out is a porcelain mask that's painted that is painted jade green. This here may be of especially high interest to you. And he's going to look directly at Gil. Wearing this mask and attuning to it gives a sense of anonymity and extreme confidence. It also would help someone who enjoys making contracts.
I can understand where you're going, Collector, but I assure you, if I attune to that mask, it will have no effect. I already have those buffs.
You don't understand the buff
So-
stack.
So true, bestie.
I'm like magic, Gil says. Confidence of a con man.
These are a little bit less complicated. They're actually relatively straightforward. And pulls out a set of greaves that kind of crackle with electricity. While wearing these, you can move faster, you are resistant to lightning, and people who tend to try to follow behind you might find it a little more difficult to do so. And finally, the last of the 6 boxes. He pulls out a large longsword. It appears to be made out of a not a soft crystal. It is a crystal that gives off a soft blue aura. And sets it down on a stand. You can see the metal of the stand immediately beginning to frost over. This weapon was crafted with ice from an unmelting glacier. It is incredibly effective against enemies who do not enjoy being frozen. It will keep back the flames, and anyone that you attack with it is likely to be slowed as their joints begin to freeze over. Are you interested in any of these items?
Hmm. I am fairly interested in that compass, but I will defer to the rest of my crew in case they need something more about something to help them better, I suppose.
I will be open about one thing. These items here, he is going to gesture to the last 3 that he put out. The mask, the greaves, and the blade. They are outside of our bargaining. You would have to provide additional coin to afford any of them.
Ah,
Can I also, I'm not in the room obviously, but with the compass, when you say you can cast locate object or locate creature, is that the 1,000 feet from those spells? Those spells aren't
Not
very
on
great.
not on that one. On that one, it is, I'm going to say 10 times, 10,000 feet.
Okay.
Jesus!
I don't
That's
see any
amazing.
of these. I don't see
It's
any
about-
of these working.
about
on
2
the
miles.
log.
We don't have to attune to the compass either. We can just use it. Good God, that's really broken, if I do say so myself.
It only points to things within about 2 miles. That would be the 10,000
That's-
feet.
I feel like the only thing a Glug would be interested in is the compass, but I think that's better suited to Gil.
Would you like some time to think on it? Or perhaps if none of these interest you, I may be able to find something different. However, if you're looking for my more unique stock, I am going to need something additional in exchange.
It's up to y'all. I mean, if you think you can use items better than that compass, then by all means. But that's
I think the things that are up in question right now would be that compass and I believe the sword for Thessian.
yeah.
I'm fine holding off. Y'all want other
If-
things?
Are you sure?
If you all are short on coin, there is something that I would be very interested in taking a look at. Everybody
Oh,
except
oh.
for Sanguine is in the room, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. If you must, and he starts to pull out his fake mustache.
That would be a fine gag. However, he's going to make direct eye contact with Fervor's gauntlets.
Oh.
They say that everyone has a price. What is yours?
For these, not for sale.
200,000 gold.
Gil's
No.
heart leaps out of his chest.
Debating if I want to. I'm debating to. Nah, the Gemini
Like
mask
holds
could come
onto
in
the side of a
handy.
table for a second, just to catch his breath.
Gil's like about to collapse. It's like, no deal. No.
You refuse.
I refuse.
You've become quite attached to that one, have you? I know every soul that enters my wagon. But that one I've never seen before. It's interesting. Is that one of those fables? I've seen
Indeed.
a few.
They've helped me quite a bit.
Well, if you have access to something like that, then perhaps there is something we can do if you happen to be short on coin. I know the location of another, and I want it.
Fervor will kind of look over to Gil.
So you're asking for us to go on a quest for you?
I suppose that is the best way to put it. If you would like access to more unique wares, and I would say, 50,000 gold in credit.
Plates are pretty full at the moment, and we have a lot to do along the way. But I suppose it couldn't hurt if you know the location of where this might be, and if it's on the way, we can certainly do our best.
Let me make one thing clear. If I'm going to tell you this location, then it is with the intention that you will be bringing this item back to me, or not seeking it out at all.
Can I
If I find
compromise?
out, I am
Tell us the
listening.
direction.
And he is going to sit back in his chair and put his feet up on the desk. If I give you leads to track this item down, and I find out that you've chosen to keep it for yourself, there will be issues.
Direction surely won't do too much. I mean, we could already be heading in that direction already. You can't really stop us from going anywhere we want to go, but if we know that that's in a place where we're going to be heading anyway, then it's definitely something to consider. Otherwise, our hands are tied.
Then I wish to make a deal with you, if you wish for the information. If you seek this item out, it is to be delivered to me. If you don't head in that direction, then no harm, no foul. But if I tell you this information, and you choose to keep it for yourself, I will use everything in my power to track you down and retrieve it. I'm not going to ask you to sign anything. I'm not going to beg. I'm simply letting you know what is going to happen.
And you say, if we do accept 50,000 gold in credit for these unique items that you're willing to give us in exchange?
These are but mere party favors compared to what I can supply you with.
Correct. And you said that we would receive credit of some sort if we were to accept, so that we may utilize these unique items in this venture.
That is correct.
We'll look back at the crew.
I am going
Does
to
Does anyone
Tele-
want dessert?
Dessert.
mentally, I'm going to look at Gil and say, make sure that it's not something that we already possess.
Point.
Or if it's what we also have, well, can't really take the offer. Saying this all telepathically, of course.
Right. Right. That is a good point. Huh. Well, in but Gil's a gambler though. I was gonna say it's like better not take the risk, but been on a hot streak lately. If
I apologize.
If
It
it
would
does
seem that
happen
there
to
is a
be-
dog in my wagon.
if it does happen to be Sanguine's fable, the contract that we just signed would prevent us from talking about that, and because it could be that item, I don't think we can accept it. But I will. I'm interested to hear everybody else's opinion.
The thing that could help in this situation is us saying the direction
that
we're
seems like
going
it.
and then them confirming or denying.
Great question. That is very good.
That way.
If it's towards
No.
the tower, basically, is what we'll ask.
Yes. Yes, that is I think that's a fair compromise.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Collector.
Yes.
How about this? We'll tell you where we're going, and you can let us know whether we're heading in the right direction. And if we are, then you can confirm that. If we aren't, then nothing has to be done. We can just forget this conversation ever happened.
I suppose that could be agreeable.
We are heading northeast.
I think it's more
Ah,
just east.
unfortunately, you are not headed in the correct direction.
Then I'm afraid we've wasted each other's time. Lovely.
It would appear so.
I wish you luck on recruiting adventurers half as good as us, I suppose. That might be the best you can get at this.
It's literally a Thesean's tooth you're trying to sell.
I may also just have to accept that I'll have to go and get it myself.
I couldn't
Good
remember
luck.
whose tooth it was.
It's literally a Thesean's
I
because
actually
you got punched
completely
hard.
forgot
It's
about
like-
that.
it's,
Holy
it's
shit.
From a dragon. It's from a dragon, people, and she just keeps it like tied on her ankle, like
Yeah,
with
it's
a little
literally-
ankle
yeah.
bracelet. And I think about it every time we talk about the collector. I'm like, I wonder if he would buy this
Good
dragon
lord.
person's tooth. I'm like, where did he get the tooth? I don't remember.
Because because we got in a real bad fight, so Thesean had a loose tooth, so he pulled it out. He's like, "Oh, shine!" I'm like, "Okay, here."
No,
I-
I didn't say it was shiny to that because you kept it, and then you gave it to me after the cat didn't want to be my
think
friend,
so, yeah.
and then the cat was
Yeah.
a liar, and I was crying in tears.
That's
The cat
right.
lied to
Good
me.
night.
Oh my god, I forgot about Cashew again.
Jesus.
Cashew's dead.
So-
Cashew's long dead. You don't have fun
Can you
familiar.
even summon a familiar anymore?
No.
Wait, what's his? Wait, did he not pick like Pack of the Chain?
No, I don't know.
I went back to the tome
Yeah, I kind of figured it was dumb.
Okay.
Yeah.
because
Asking
it was
for
the
a
most
find familiar
wizardy.
Scroll, guys.
It was the most wizardy subclass for.
It is. Yeah.
Imagine getting put up for adoption because your dad decided he wanted a book instead.
Would be
Not now, Cashew.
crazy.
Daddy's reading, and Cashew's a skeleton in the corner.
Where? Oh, we can't even. You know, it'd be crazy if we went back to Goldcrest and then we went to the bread shop and Cashew was just hanging out with that other cat.
Can we make that canon?
Oh, please.
Yeah.
I love Cashew. Look, okay, Redcon. I love Cashew and the carrot, the baker.
And now there's just a
They hit
fucking
it off
cat
with
there.
their cat, and now they're besties.
And now they
Because I
both
was like
hate
a-
Myrrh.
I'm just
like-
really. They don't hate Myrrh. Myrrh hates them. There's a difference.
No, they hate you too.
Oh,
It's
they
like
hate me too. That's all right. You wait, because I'm gonna turn into a fire cleric. All right.
Because
So,
familiar is.
Absolutely love
Sorry,
cats
I'll
in my
go
fairy
on.
kingdom. I can't believe.
what were you saying, honey?
I was making a stupid joke. Don't worry, go on.
It's all good.
I
Does
remember
anybody
when
want
Glug
to?
had to give up Cashew. It's so sad.
Does anybody want to buy any of the things from the collector's wares that are currently available? I will give you the prices if you'd like.
Yes.
What items specifically are people interested in?
I want the compass very badly.
It was the compass and then the sword that we were looking at.
The compass would be 3,500 gold. So you would still have about 8,500 gold left. And then you were looking at the sword. The sword
On discount
is
today.
the most expensive item in his shop
Yeah.
that he is
Good
currently
thing
showing.
it's
you.
discounted.
It's a good thing it's discounted. It's only 21,999 instead of 22,000.
No, just get the compass. We don't got the gold for that.
Hmm. I was gonna say we couldn't have afforded the sword even if it was the only one we could get.
I got a shiny
Bar up
platinum
the
coin. Is
store.
that enough?
Nope.
Look how shiny it is.
There's
Oh my
none out there
God.
like this. They're all dirty.
that-
Not this one though.
Is that a genuine year 1 platinum coin minted in Isla Brisca? That's worth billions.
King Leo the First's face is reversed on it. It's so rare.
I like that the collector is so fucking old that he lived through an apocalypse that now he's just like a weeaboo. He's just like so infatuated by modern history that he was there watching.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I remember when George W. Bush was sworn in.
He's just a fanboy at this point. Like,
I love that.
Yeah,
He's
I almost just.
he's
I
just
almost
going
said a
down
spoiler for One
nostalgia
Piece.
lane. He's just going down nostalgia lane right now. He's like, oh yeah, I remember when that was invented.
Oh, God.
That'll be enough. Hell yeah.
Well, if there is nothing else of interest, then I will provide you with your coin. And if you happen to come across anything else interesting, any more information that you may wish to share, then perhaps we can make another deal. Would that be acceptable?
I'm sorry, I must have missed what he said. I apologize.
If
just-
if there's nothing else that you're interested in, he would
Okay.
provide you with the compass and
Uh-huh.
the coin that you have left over, the 8,500.
Uh-huh.
And if you happen to come across anything else interesting or any information,
Oh,
then he
Okay.
would be willing to make another deal with you.
okay. I thought he was making another deal, or okay, I misheard it. I'm sorry.
You're all good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Very well. And he is going to pull out a stack of coin and begin counting it. 1, 2, 3. And not that slow. He will count out 8,500 gold for the party and hand over the compass. So
You'll
now
appreciate
the
some counting out like the bank. So
So now the compass I will actually add to the loot. Compass.
Is our funds in the party loot correct?
To my knowledge, it
Funds.
is.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm adding the coin that we got.
All right. You guys would have no way of determining this, but just for flavor for the players, this is a compass from the Sea of Falling Stars in Faerun.
oh. Does it have a different name? Because I'm not finding it in like any official books or anything.
I got this one off of I think it was Reddit or something like that. So it's not like an official thing.
Okay.
And just to double check, it was 8,500, right?
Yeah, 8,500.
Okay.
All right. And with that, I believe that we are coming up on time. So, we're going to go ahead and call it here. A little bit of a bookkeeping shopping episode. And we will get back to the shenanigans in 2 weeks. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Hope you all have a fantastic night. I'm going to find somebody to throw a raid out to real quick.
Thank you, thank you.
Unless, did anybody have anything else that they wanted to do in town that would be real quick?
Well, I know Sanguine wants to do his stuff, but
Okay, what were you
That can
shopping
wait.
for?
that can hold. hold off. I want to have a few conversations so we can put off
Yeah.
until next time.
Okay,
You
sounds
let
good
us
to
talk
me.
for so long, so yeah. Next
Uh,
time we get the.
yeah. So next time we will start with Sanguine going around doing shopping and stuff.
And next time there
uh,
won't be any technical issues. I would fix them.
Let's not say that. Let's
No,
not
I
do
fixed
it.
them. No more. I'm good now.
Now it's the rest of us that we have to worry about.
exactly.
Let's see. Who is live for me to throw a raid out to? I am not seeing anybody that I typically would raid. So, I think that we're unfortunately just going to get out. Blah, 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 blah. I think that we're just going to have to go ahead and call it here. No, that's a lot of people for me to not raid. Let's find somebody who's just streaming D&D.
All right.
I think most of those people are us.
What?
True.
I think
that.
most of the people that are watching are technically us.
Yeah, could be.
I'm
Unless-
Joss, and I'm watching you live right now while you're
Damn.
live.
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Crazy. I was crazy once.
Also,
put me in a
before we
room.
I'm
leave-
gonna throw a raid out to.
Before we leave, I think we all know what we need to do.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Black
birthday!
Guy!
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Everyone, his birthday's
I-
tomorrow. Wish him a happy
Birthday's
birthday
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
God damn it. I'm actually.
Never leave.
I don't know what the etiquette is rating somebody that you like watch on YouTube and stuff like that or aren't moots with, but I'm gonna raid out to the Crown DM. He does a bunch of stuff with people that I like a lot.
I'm
Does a
familiar
bunch
with
of-
them. I shouldn't.
He's a player in a few World of IO campaigns with a few other streamers that I really, really enjoy. I will have to drop some links because they are very fun. The Crowned DM.
Hell yeah!
Check them out.
Hope y'all have a good one. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. And now the awkward 3 seconds before the raid actually